It's Press Pass with Jack Ebling, Mid-Michigan's spirited sports debate. Now let's get talking sports. Here's Jack.
Great evening, Mid-Michigan and beyond, and Merry Christmas to you all. I want to thank our creative director, Jared Churchill, for some new graphics, and welcome to show 222. I want you to meet our team tonight. Tom Crawford, my longtime radio partner, Bluebelly Tom. He is our Tuesday in studio and Thursday remotes co-host of The Drive with Jack, the Team 92.1 FM, and I love your fashion sense here, wearing that Wisconsin/Ohio State/South Carolina jacket.
It's my festive red jacket purchased at Jacobson's on Grand River in East Lansing in 1994. It still works.
No truth to the rumor that because of losses to the Badgers and Buckeyes, you had to wear that.
No. I'm not against red. I couldn't wear a green jacket, though. I'll go on record saying that right now.
And you are not going to Tampa for the Outback Bowl?
No, I'm not. I will not be there. I'll be watching it TV. No.
Also want to welcome Graham Couch, sports columnist for the Lansing State Journal. And he is our Monday co-host on The Drive with Jack, but won't be here tomorrow because we have our Christmas Best Of show. And you are off to San Diego for Michigan State, Washington State.
And I'd like to say I also bought this jacket in 1994. That's why it fits like it does. I'm headed out to San Diego for 4 days. Not bad, and it's going to be 19 degrees to be somewhere like San Diego. You don't take that stuff for granted when you get an all expenses paid for trip. And what I think is going to be a very interesting bowl game and interesting week for Michigan State.
I got a jacket exactly like that one year. I took it back. Rico Beard is with us, and Rico is a Specs Howard broadcast instructor. He is also a recruiting insider, and he is the host of the Spartan Beat, weeknights from 6 to 7 on the Team 92.1. Merry Christmas, Rico.
Merry Christmas, Jack. I don't have a festive jacket or a funny story.
I wish you did.
It's just, yeah.
Well,
it's just me today.
Christmas this week for Mark Antonio in terms of football recruiting and a prime prospect from Belleville High School.
Yeah, he had a gift right before he hopped on that plane on Friday. Julian Barnett decided he wanted to be a Spartan, one of the top 100 players in the state of in the nation actually, not just in Michigan.
We are going to talk about Michigan State football when we get back. What's ahead for the Spartans this week? Still 2-point underdog against Mike Leach and the Washington State Cougars. We'll be right back with that discussion and more here on Press Pass.
After reviewing the play, you should be driving a Honda from Capital Honda. During Capital Honda's Savings Rush, catch 2017 Honda Accord LX, 0 down, $219 a month. Score 2017 Honda Civic LX, $169 a month. Rush to Capital Honda today.
MSU Federal Credit Union will help start your kids out on the right financial path. Teach your children how to save money in all stages of their lives with MSU FCU's youth accounts. Stop in today or visit msufcu.org for more information.
When it comes to cancer, every day is a fight. By our patients, their families, and our caregivers. It's hard to describe how it feels when you see the victories happen. It makes us work that much harder to open new doors in the fight against cancer. Introducing the Sparrow Herbert Herman Cancer Center.
Teachers inspire and help mold tomorrow's leaders. Now the Michigan Lottery and Fox 47 want to recognize the great work of our outstanding public school educators through the Excellence in Education Awards. Each weekly winner will receive a $1,500 cash award and their school gets a $500 grant. You can help by finding the next award winner by logging on to fox47news.com. Make your nomination and help us put the spotlight on an excellent educator.
When it matters, call the Abood Law Firm.
This year, the best presents aren't under the tree, they're in the driveway. Bombs away!
Thanks, Santa.
Nice shot. Merry Christmas.
It's the 12 days of savings at every Graf dealership, the biggest savings event of the year. Drive off a new Equinox for only $139 per month. Or get a new Silverado double cab for just $144 per month. And just in time for Christmas, Graf will give you $2,000 over the value of your trade.
The Graf 12 days of savings going on now at a Graf dealership near you. Merry Christmas.
The Knapp Center is a historical hub for future business growth in beautiful downtown Lansing.
The Ide Company did the best they could to preserve the integrity of the history of this building while incorporating a modern, open workspace.
They have been prompt, they have been efficient, and they really are a friendly, great group of people that we don't have any concerns about calling them for any of our needs.
Opportunities for retail, office, restaurant, and residential. Build the future as a member of the Ide Company family.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Going Green segment, brought to you by Graf Chevrolet, a trusted friend with 103 years in the automobile business. Stop and see Matt, Mark, and Greg on West Grand River in Okemos. They'll take great care of you, as they have on all 6 of my leases and purchases. There's no better time to buy than December, when the GM employee discount is available to all Graf customers. There you see the Michigan State football equipment van pulling out from the Duffy Doherty building and en route to San Diego. That is a long journey for a big vehicle, but that's what it takes. It is a mass migration to get a team to the West Coast for a bowl game. Rico Beard, what do the Spartans need to do to reach double-digit wins for the 6th time in 8 seasons and pull a postseason upset for the 5th time under Mark D'Antonio?
Probably play a lot less of Chris Fry on defense, because he just can't cover. And Washington State's going to come out with that air raid attack, and they're going to pick them apart, similar to what Northwestern did. And they're going to find that weak link. You have to keep the Washington State offense off the field. You have to run the ball, because that offense will dink and dunk you to death. They'll eat clock. They'll eat time. And before you know it, you're going to be behind. So if you're Michigan State, you got to run that ball.
So is nickel the base package for Michigan State in this game, Greg?
It could be. I mean, the concern if you're Michigan State is if you look back to the Northwestern game, per se, when you had a team that, and all the underneath stuff they ran, and so there are a lot of parts of Washington State that kind of remind me of that, and they struggled with that. Yeah, I know they only gave 17 points in regulation, but that the defense lost its edge there a little bit, and so yeah, it might be. And the strength of Michigan State all year, right? Stopping the run.
Yeah. Not so relevant here.
Right, that's not the game. That's why it's going to be really interesting to see. We're going to find out where this pass rush is, where this secondary is, real quick.
Tom Crawford, you said that you liked the Cougars to win a very close game.
Close game, right.
Why?
A lot of rub routes, we'll call it pick plays, whatever. They're going to get that down. They'll get that down to a science. They got a really solid quarterback in Falk, and I just think it's going to just be a template of the Northwestern game. Be a close game, final possession game. Probably a field goal wins it for Washington State.
Yeah, and in that Northwestern game, Michigan State allowed 17 points and about 350 yards in regulation. Now, the overtimes, the 3 periods, Northwestern went in every time, but something a little bit different. Graham, if MSU pulls this upset off, even if it doesn't, how should 2017 be remembered? How should this team be remembered? The 6 or 7 win improvement.
Oh, well, either way. I mean, obviously the win changes the way you feel going into January and February, but it is a great reclamation project. It is so hard if you lose it to get it back. Coaches will tell you it's the hardest thing they've ever that you can do in college football. And I think it does speak to the idea that maybe MSU didn't lose it as much as we thought. Sure, there are a lot of circumstances that create that record, but the overall foundation and the talent and the culture was stronger than I think a lot of us thought. But I think you have to look at the veterans, the seniors, the Gerald Holmes, the Chris Fries, guys who learned from that, and a young group that was ready. And but it has to be remembered as a great reclamation.
See, I would say this, Graham. They can do anything but have what happened in that Ohio State game happen. Right. You can't get blown out by Washington State
and then be behind 3 touchdowns early.
Right, and then feel good about yourself. If you lose a close game, if you win a close game, or if you blow them out, you can build on that.
This isn't going to be the Baylor game where you can come back like that in the fourth quarter.
But he's right on how you feel, because like the Alabama game and just Mark D'Antonio needed a therapy session after that. You really can't have that. And winning it, and one of the things the coaches talked about in the last week is, you've had all this time to prepare for somebody. you're going to find it. I mean, you ought to be focused. You ought to be crisp. You ought to execute well. And if so, you have a month to prepare, and you
That
don't
was an
perform
obvious
well.
mismatch. When people talk about
Right,
Michigan
this shouldn't
State and
be.
Alabama, you could walk out on a field before the game and you knew that Michigan State had no chance to win that game. These teams, I think, very contrasting styles, different. Rico, if the Spartans pull it off and have a 7-win improvement, that will be the biggest improvement in 121 years for this program.
It would, and I think that's something you catapult on, and we look forward to the spring game, and you're looking forward to the next season saying, this could be a team that can contend in the East.
Todd, Michigan State lost some games that they weren't in, but they won a lot of close
They
ones.
flipped it. They're just the opposite. That way, there's not that much difference between last year and this year.
There's a lot of difference. There's a lot of difference.
We will be right back, and we're going to talk about the University of Michigan football. Coming up next, our Out of the Blue segment.
Hello, my name is Dr. John Braccio, psychologist. If you or your child have problems with focus, inattention, sitting still, memory, concentration, these are traits of ADHD. Visit us at drjohnb.com.
Team spirit. Face paint. More cowboy. Dean Trailway's Motor Coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, we have a taste for adventure because the only way to know how good something can be is to go for it. Try our veggie smoothies, Island Green, made with spinach, kale, pineapple, banana, and mango, and Caribbean Seaburst with carrots, mango, banana, orange, and goji. Adventure begins with never knowing until you try, but always expecting something great. Go for a veggie smoothie at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Eat better, feel better.
Hello, my name is Dr. John Braccio, psychologist. If you or your child have problems with focus, inattention, sitting still, memory, concentration, these are traits of ADHD. Visit us at drjohnb.com.
Let Larry find a great deal for you at Larry's RV in Jackson.
Larry, are you out there?
With the David Chapman Agency, auto owners' insurance policies come with something extra. Local agents who care about you. Our agents will help you find the right coverage at the best price. 3 generations serving you at the David Chapman Agency, your local auto owners' insurance agents.
Hi folks, I'm Jack Williams from Total Firearms and Pro Tackle Shop. Stop in and see us for all your fishing, hunting, and archery needs.
Like us on Facebook.
You've heard me say we're transforming the car buying experience. But what does that mean? We want to make it fast, easy, and enjoyable. Car buying should be fun, not a chore. I've been selling cars for over 30 years now, and I still get excited every time we match a customer up with the car of their dreams. Come into Sawyer's and see the difference for yourself. Just one of the ways you get more at Sawyer's Chevrolet Superstore.
Welcome back to Press Pass, our Out of the Blue segment, a montage of Michigan football photos and highlights. We tried to find a few.
Yeah.
In 2017.
Some from last year I saw there. That was a nicer time.
Rico Beard, when you think about this Michigan football team and the 7.5-point favorite over South Carolina, another team without a significant win, how important is this game to the Wolverines?
Man, I think this game is really important to the Wolverines because it helps them and catapults them into winning the offseason. That's where they flourish. And you can't have 5 losses if you're Michigan. There's no way to sugarcoat that. You can't cover it up. You can't put deodorant on it. It stinks. And everybody will know it. You have to win this game like your life depends on it.
Tom Crawford, we've talked about how important it is to win bowl games. Is this game as important as the New Year's Six bowl game for Michigan?
Well, I think they got to get that bitter taste. This has been a bad season. It's been a disappointing season, Jack. And the 5 losses. God forbid this guy's right. 5 losses will kill me. But as he predicted. But I think they're going to win this game. I think it's going to generate a lot of momentum. And it's opportunity for Brandon Peters. This is his game, Jack. And he's going to have his job maybe to try out for next year. So we'll see how he does against the Gamecocks.
Graham, Michigan is 4-4 in its last 8 games. If it drops this game and has to open at Notre Dame, it's a possibility it could have 6 losses in the span of 10 games.
Yeah, but I don't look at this year. Like, I think next year is a really pivotal year for that Jim Harbaugh.
It's a different year. It's a clean slate. I don't think it's
whatever happens. They can beat South Carolina by 50. They can lose by 20. Next year is a pivotal year, so I think you separate. I agree that there's momentum. There's all that stuff because.
So how is next year different than this year?
Because it's year 4, right? It's your guys.
Same expectations.
It's 20 and 22 back. More experience.
Right.
Same idea with the new quarterback.
And if you get through year 4 now, and say they lose again to Michigan State and Ohio State, and now you're 1-7 against your 2 rivals.
They're on the road for both of those.
It gets to a point after year 4 where you start to go.
Wait till year 5. This is what will happen.
So you're already taking those as losses. Is that correct?
Is
that what you're doing?
Yes.
I'm saying next year's a pivotal year. I'm not taking losses.
I am.
Because you're a hater.
I'm not a hater. I'm a realistic person. That team is bad.
Oh, bad next year? Okay.
Well, you got no quarterback.
Tape that.
You had to go and try and steal one from Ole Miss because you can't groom one yourself.
My.
Go ahead, Jack.
What would be a bigger disappointment, Tom, for Michigan fans on New Year's Day? A 5-loss season or knowing that Rico Beard was right?
I think Michigan fans don't even know who Rico Beard is. So that's it.
Trust me, they know.
Maybe a handful of them. All 5 followers if you have. But anyway.
I could walk into any building and they all look at me and know my name.
Anyway, it's an important game, and I think besides the quarterback situation, some other competition level situations on both on D line and offensive line are going to come into play.
Rico, what would be a bigger surprise to you? A 28-point win for the Wolverines, veritable blowout, or a 7-point win for the Gamecocks without Jadeveon Clowney?
I think the win for the Gamecocks. That's a bad team. I mean, we talk about matchups. This is a good matchup for Michigan. South Carolina is not good. If you lose this game, you deserve all the ridicule you can get. This team's offense is horrible. We can go find 7 other people off the street and generate more offense than South Carolina. They stink. Tom, if you lose, you should be embarrassed. You should burn your degree.
Graham, you know what those teams have in common, Michigan and South Carolina? They both have big wins over 4-win Florida.
Yeah, well, and look, it's not a sexy opponent. It's just not. And I know Michigan State fans were upset that they didn't wind up in a New Year's Day Bowl, and they were upset that mostly that Michigan jumped them. And then there was some hangover from the citrus. But a lot of, being in that game against South Carolina, there's just no juice to it. Yeah. There's a lot more juice to Washington State in the Holiday Bowl.
Well, why aren't Michigan State happy about going to San Diego?
They don't like being passed over. It's the pecking order deal, and those are long-standing.
Get over it, man.
I agree with you, but I'm just saying this is the way it works, and it always will be that way.
Mo Hurst is going to play in the game.
That's helpful.
Tom, at least a 10-point win. I think more than that for the Wolverines.
Well, that would be nice, and I think it'll be in the 12 to 17 range if they're going to win.
You should run away with this team. Feel good about
Doesn't
yourself.
matter. Just go on and execute, make plays, have some competition on both sides of the ball.
If you are doing a confidence poll of games when Power 5 conferences, give Michigan a lot of points in this one. When we get back, we're going to have the big picture, and we're going to talk about the college football playoff, about teams in the Big Ten and how they might fare, and looking forward. A lot to talk about with college football, and we're going to do that in just a minute here on Press Pass.
Kelly, we're out of body wash. What are you doing? I thought you had a cold.
I don't need all this. Mucinex Fast Max is powerful enough to handle pretty much every symptom.
Name one.
How about 9? Sore throat, cough, even...
Yeah, I can read, you know.
We're done here.
Ah! Boogers to Betsy!
Mucinex Fast Max. 9 symptoms, 1 dose, max strength. Start the relief, ditch the misery. Let's end this. And for kids' multi-symptom relief, try #1 recommended children's Mucinex.
Team One is having the event of the year. The new Chevys, Buicks, and GMCs are all here. They're all under one roof. They're all in one spot at the home of Simon Drive, Team One in Charlotte, where the brand new Equinox looks mighty fine, and so does the price at only $169. Get the 18 Silverado for only $245, and of course there's no money down with Team One Simon Drive. Come see us this holiday season because these deals are hot. See all our great deals at team1charlotte.com. Happy holidays from Team One, the only one.
Everything you thought you knew about medicine is wrong.
The Resident this January on Fox.
This year, the best presents aren't under the tree. They're in the driveway. Bombs away.
Thanks, Santa Hat.
Nice shot. Merry Christmas.
It's the 12 days of savings at every Graf dealership, the biggest savings event of the year. Drive off a new Equinox for only $139 per month. Or get a new Silverado double cab for just $144 per month. And just in time for Christmas, Graf will give you $2,000 over the value of your trade.
The Graf 12 days of savings going on now at a Graf dealership near you. Merry Christmas.
The student bookstores are Green and White Shop headquarters. Outfit your entire family with Spartan gear. We have a large selection of men's, women's, and children's clothing. Show off your Michigan State pride with new shoes, socks, hats, and more. Have your tailgate ready with MSU party supplies, car accessories, and dress your pet in green and white. We have gifts for students, grads, alumni, and fans. From Vera Bradley and Dooney and Burke to diploma frames and more. Always shop SBS for the biggest and best selection of green and white. Go green, go white, go SBS.
It was a Saturday of smiles for Michigan State at Michigan Stadium. A sea of white amid maize and blue. A team that laid it all on the line with ferocious hits and a steady hand. For 59 minutes and 50 seconds, then all hell broke loose. Cherish the memories of October 17, 2015, and one of the greatest finishes in college football history. The Perfect 10 by Jack Ebling and Joe Rexroad. Available at drivewithjack.com, at SBS and Schuler Books, and on Amazon before time runs out. Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for The Big Picture, brought to you by Dean Trailways. With trips for every season, Dean takes care of the details so you can enjoy the experience, including daily casino runs and great getaways to northern Michigan and Chicago. Doug Warren and I took a Dean luxury cruiser to Chicago and joined 27 pro football greats, more than 100 supporters of the Shinsky Orphanage in Matamoros, Mexico, not far from landfall for Hurricane Harvey. There you see the playoff brackets for the 2017 college football playoff. The first game of the day on New Year's Day, that's number 2 seeded Oklahoma, the Big 12 champions, versus 3rd seed Georgia, the SEC titleists, in Pasadena. And at night, it's top seeded Clemson, the ACC champs and defending national champions, against Alabama, a team they beat for the title a year ago, and a team that was not in the SEC championship game. First time that conference has had 2 teams in the playoff. Tom Crawford, I've been listening to Doug Warren talk about Oklahoma's defense and why he thinks that that is going to keep the Sooners from winning a title. You don't agree. You like the Sooners' chances.
Yeah, Natras Patrick, the inside linebacker for Georgia, is out on, he's got to go through drug counseling. That's a big loss in the Georgia defense. Baker Mayfield is a tremendous football player, guys. We know it, Heisman Trophy winner, threw for over 4,300 yards this year alone. I just think their offense is going to be on the field all day long, scoring big plays. I think Oklahoma's going to win this game somewhere between 14 and 17 points.
Wow.
I'm very confident when I say that out at the Rose Bowl.
Now, that'd be a blow for the SEC followers, Grant.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to. I think it will be a close game. I love Baker Mayfield's game. I do. I think he's a guy who's going to, some of the people who've been passed on in the NFL, he's going to benefit from that and get a shot here. Again, what does it say about the SEC, though? I don't think it's fair to say just because one team loses in these games, like Michigan State loses 36-0 to Alabama, doesn't mean they didn't belong in that playoff. And so I think that's the one thing you have to be careful of. Regardless of what happens here, you arrive at this conclusion. These are the top 4 teams or most deserving teams, however you arrive there. What happens from this point forward does not change whether they just belong to be there or not.
Rico Beard, the betting favorites for the playoff is still Alabama, championship or not. Is Alabama, Nick Saban, really that mighty, or is it just Michigan with some championships?
No, I think they're really that mighty, and they're the name that you know. I mean, if it's one of those things when you put Alabama versus all the other teams. If Alabama had to go up against Oklahoma, you would take Alabama. If Alabama played Georgia again, you would say you would take Alabama. Unfortunately, Jack, I think they blew it with the seeding because I think your championship game is a semifinal game. Kind of reminded me back in the 90s when the NFC Championship in the NFL was the real Super Bowl, and then the Super Bowl was just a crowning event for whoever won that game. I don't think that either team, whether it's Oklahoma, sorry Tom, or whether it's Georgia, will beat the winner of that game. That's like the Cavs and Golden State playing in the semifinals and not the finals.
And you have Alabama winning or Clemson?
You know, Alabama's Achilles heel is a mobile quarterback, and Clemson has one. I don't know, but I think it's going to be the better of the two games.
Well, pick a winner.
I don't have to pick a winner.
You don't know.
I also think Alabama's Achilles heel is its own quarterback. Jalen Hurts is not that good. He's just not that good passer.
Alabama's gotten a lot of
Let
injured
me tell you
players
something.
back.
That Clemson D-line is the best I've seen in 50 years of college football. They're gonna beat Alabama by double digits.
No, you know what? Just for that, I'm going to take Alabama.
Graham Couch, how many Big Ten teams will win bowl games this year?
I think it could be a good year when you look at the matchups. There are many as 7. I mean, there are years where you look at it.
7 combined?
Yeah, I mean, look at it. Michigan. You think is going to win? I think Michigan State's got at least a 50-50 chance. The only team I don't like is Purdue. Really against.
You think Wisconsin can beat Miami?
I do. I don't think Miami's that good.
I do too.
I really don't. I think Ohio State, USC is kind of a wash. Who's motivated? Who wants to play that game? Penn State, I like against Washington. Iowa, BC. A lot of even matchups. You can see them going the other way, but I think the Big Ten is the slightly better team in a lot of those games.
I'm taking 3.
3? Big
Who are
Ten
you 3?
Wow.
Penn State, Michigan, and Ohio State.
You don't think MSU beats Washington?
I think the most likely Big Ten team to win, other than Michigan, is Northwestern against Kentucky.
Yeah.
I really like the Wildcats in that.
They're hot. They're on a roll.
And Kentucky's not a smart team.
Tom, which teams will have the widest smiles and the biggest pool of tears? Who has the most to lose from the Big Ten?
The most to lose in the Big Ten? I think Ohio State. I think they got to get their cred back a little bit.
I think it's Wisconsin, because I think Wisconsin's the team that all year nobody believed in, and then they don't get in the playoff. I think if they can go out there and they have a lot to gain too. If they can put a smackdown on Miami or beat them, I do. I think I do.
Big Ten's
there's a lot to prove.
The Big Ten slowness versus the Miami speed, it never works.
Yeah,
when you go up against Southern speed,
you watch Miami
it doesn't.
Yeah, we watch them at home. They play at home.
I've heard this every time Wisconsin goes out to the Rose Bowl and then they roll somebody out there.
They're going to Hard Rock that stadium, man.
They're going to have a bunch of Badger fans down there.
Miami's got 4 fans, maybe 5 on a good day.
Miami doesn't even want to be there. They don't even get a trip out of it. They got to play in their own stadium.
That was a good game. But I watched a lot of other games this year where they were a lot less
double-digit win for the game.
Speed kills. Miami has speed. Wisconsin does not.
2-2. All right. Well, when we get back, we'll have our Spartan sparring segment. We'll talk about Michigan State basketball. We'll talk about this program and what it has to offer in all different sports. We'll be right back.
Team spirit. Facepaint. More cowboy. Dean Trailway's motor coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Coach's All-American Pub and Grill. What makes us All-American? Enjoying great food with ice-cold beverages and friendly service. Watching the game on one of our 21 large-screen TVs. With a variety of fun indoor and outdoor entertainment every night of the week. Connecting with friends, dining with family, or catching the game, you'll always have a great time. Coach's All-American Pub and Grill. Great food, fun, and friends.
Advanced technology and forecasting. Storm Shield weather. Only on Fox 47 News.
Are you serious, Rita? Oh my God! Shut up!
What do you mean?
Mother.
To marry me.
It's real. Oh my God.
We're clearing out our warehouse. Everything must be sold before year-end inventory. Winter installation? No problem. American Metal Roof's year-end warehouse clearance. Call 844-METAL-ROOFS or visit
It's December, and that means big holiday savings for you, only at Shaheen Chevrolet. With these prices, you can put them on your shopping list because December is a great time to buy a car at Shaheen Chevrolet, where you always get the best price on any new Chevy, guaranteed or it's free.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's our Spartan Sparring segment. Talking about Michigan State basketball. Tom Izzo in year 23 might have as good a chance as he has ever had at this point of the year to win a national title. Is this the year he gets it done, Rico Beard?
Yeah, I think so. He has to get it done. His team is loaded. He's got everything. He is going about 12 people deep in the roster. And if he doesn't, he's got only himself to blame. He got a mulligan because we all thought that Denzel and Bryn Forbes and Matt Costello-led team was going to be the guys to do it, and they lost in the first round. You normally don't get this, but he got it. He has to come through.
Well, he's had a couple. I mean, you think about 2013-14 was a group that had a chance. That team had a chance. This is more talented. This is a little different. And I'm not saying it's his last chance, but I think the team in a couple of years could have a great senior backcourt with a lot of good young players. But this is his best. This is his most gifted team. And you can see this is why he nitpicks on everything. It's the turnovers. It's all that stuff. Because he doesn't want this team to ruin it. He knows that nothing can stop this team in a lot of ways but itself.
He's got 5 NBA players on this team.
If this happens, Tom Crawford, I know you'll be deliriously happy, but for Miles Bridges to have come back when a high flyer could have flown somewhere else, how will he be remembered in Spartan lore?
Oh my God, they'll make a statue of this guy. I mean, and you know, as a college basketball fan, I admire the kid for coming back. I wish everybody came back, and I say that in all seriousness. So, yeah, he will walk on water. Right? Even if they don't win the national championship, Miles Bridges is going to be really up there in Spartan lore with the fans.
I agree, because at a very difficult time for the athletic department,
yes.
He chose MSU. He stood in front of Sparty and said, I want
Think about
to be
March
here.
when
And that
things
meant
were
a
going
lot to a
bad.
lot of
Yeah,
people.
absolutely.
Yeah. Will it be Magic, Mateen, and Miles?
You know, well, here's the thing. I don't know if he's always, I mean, there are some other great players on this team, but I think it might be. It depends how he finishes the year.
Magic wasn't always the best player on that team,
That's a
and
good
Mateen
point.
certainly wasn't even the best player on his team. Will Peterson was the Big Ten player of the year.
Agreed. He's looked at as the leader, and he is also the guy who I think controls their psyche more than anybody else. Like, if he's out of the game, you see how it affects them, or if he was injured, you see how it affects them.
He and Tom together.
Well, no, this is Miles' team. This is very much Miles Bridges' team. So, yeah, in that sense, I very much agree.
Tom Crawford, is there a better football, basketball combined program in the country right now than Michigan State? I know, it hurts you to
This is a loaded question, but I got to be honest. Oklahoma, no, Michigan State definitely would be that one. I'm telling you what, Oklahoma would be right there with him because I think Oklahoma's going to win the national championship in football, and I think they're going to do a good run in basketball. So if you're looking at this academic calendar of 17 and 18, it would be Michigan State and Oklahoma right behind.
Trae Young fan.
Oh, Trae Young is the real deal, man. I'm telling you what, he's good.
And they've been good for a while. I mean, they've been good for a while too.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. It's, you know, Oklahoma. If you look at athletic programs that are parallel over the last 6-7 years, Michigan State, Oklahoma.
But other than those two, they stand by themselves.
Right, absolutely, I agree.
Tom, it isn't just football and basketball. Michigan State has had success in a lot of other sports, and now hockey is on the way back, as it is at Michigan. But Dan Cole, expecting a turnaround, and already heading into the Great Lakes Invitational, has more wins than the hockey program had all last year.
You know, I was in studio when we had Dan on your show, and I could tell he's just so invested, so happy to be back, and you see just the impact on the ice. So Michigan State is indeed back, and so they'll have that three-prong again with football, basketball, and hockey.
Graham Couch, there are always problems, and Michigan State handled the football problems about as well as anyone could have imagined 7 months ago. We talked about whether there should even be a spring game. People don't talk about that now, but there is the ominous cloud with Larry Nassar moving forward. What is that going to mean to Michigan State, and is President Luana K. Simon the person to lead this university going forward?
Well, to be clear with the football, they recovered about as well as you can winning. I don't know if they handled it as well as you possibly can.
What else could they have done?
Well, again,
they couldn't talk to us. We wanted them to talk to us and tell us everything. They couldn't. They were litigation.
I wouldn't expel players before there was a criminal trial. I would suspend them and keep them off. That's where I would do things differently. That's just my own.
Yeah, but that's a catch-22, because if they did that, then they get skewered for saying, well, you're protecting criminals.
That's strong leadership. To me, that's just what I would do. That's in terms of the Nassar thing.
They're being vilified now. They would have really been vilified if they kept those guys around.
And the Nassar thing is a whole different level. And there clearly was what I think now, when you look at the latest reporting from Matt Macarini and stuff, there was some negligence. And my personal opinion is I don't think that Luana K. Simon is the president a year from now there. It doesn't mean I completely agree with that. Do I think everything's her fault? No, but you are the top. The buck stops with you. And if people don't think you should be leading the university, you're not going to keep leading the university. And I think over time, you're starting to see that's the way people feel. And look, there clearly were missteps, and there's been some tone deafness, and just the lack of empathy at times in the communication.
I think what most people are looking for are two things, gentlemen. Truth and transparency.
And it hasn't been there.
And right now, people are still asking a lot of questions, and they think they should have had answers by now. We understand the court process and what it is, but Michigan State has a lot to answer, and it's going to continue on throughout 2018. We'll be right back, and we're going to have our Law of the Jungle segment talking about the Detroit Lions up next.
The Lansing School District is proud to present Fox47News.com's Happy Holiday section with photos, tips, and ideas to make your season bright. Find gift guides to help with that special someone. Email us your photos of holiday pets, holiday lights, elf on the shelf, decorations, even ugly Christmas sweaters to yespicks at Fox47News.com. Happy Holidays, your destination for everything festive and more, only on Fox47News.com.
Introducing the all-new heated cab for the John Deere 1R tractor. Simply captivating.
Green Fever is going on now at D&G Equipment in Mason, Williamston, Highland, Howell, Corunna, and Charlotte.
Catch all the savings and excitement during Capital Honda's Savings Rush, now at Capital Honda.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Greg.
Welcome to Delicious.
At Fabiano's Pizzeria, we're more than great pizza. We're family. We're friends. We're a team. Dough and sauce made from scratch. We're serious about quality. And we're honored to serve you. Fabiano's Pizzeria, Westphalia. Just down the road.
It's another fall Friday night, and your kids should be
playing high school football.
It's a fun game, and it's safer than ever.
It's safe because the rules, the coaching,
And the equipment are better than ever before.
As a result, serious injuries are at an all-time low. Seriously. And Bill.
Strong schools, lifetime memories, and tomorrow's community leaders. And it's mother approved.
It's a great game, and we want to teach it to your kids.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Law of the Jungle segment. Brought to you by Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, your healthy alternative to fast food. Eat Woody's and live longer. I'm talking about chicken shawarma with baked breast meat and hummus made fresh in a 3-day process. That's why I'm there every week. Gentlemen, other than Tom Crawford, I'm not sure any of us make it all the way down the chimney right now, but it's our chance to leave some great gifts for Detroit's 4 pro teams. Santa Beard, besides a different city, a different fan base to torment, what fantastic gift would you give the Detroit Lions?
I give the Detroit Lions the same gift that they get every year, hope. You get hope.
But you're going to say a lump of coal in your stocking.
No, you get hope. I mean, maybe you get a real running back in the NFL draft. You get someone who can go out there and consistently get 100 yards for you. You get someone who can eat up clock and eat time and take some pressure off of Stafford. That's what I will give this Detroit Lions team.
Would that help, Tom Crawford? Is that enough? Is that the right gift?
Well, yeah, that, they need a Le'Veon Bell, Ezekiel Elliott type
They need a
guy.
lot of gifts.
Yeah, but they also need an offensive line, a healthy offensive line that stays that way and can carve those holes, and that's where it starts up front. So I would have a dependable offensive line, Taylor Decker type of player all the way across the front. That's what I would give.
Go get you a Saquon Barkley, you'll be okay.
Santa Couch, what are you giving Ron Gardenhire's rebuilt Detroit Tigers?
Well, there are two things. One is a prospect that we're not thinking is going to come up this year that comes up and has a big year. That would be kind of fun, like a new player that gives hope. But I'm going to go to an old guy. It's Miguel Cabrera finding his swing and not being done, which does one of two things. One, gives people a reason to go to the ballpark and see a guy like that. Or two, even with that contract, somehow gives some trade value because all of a sudden he has a healthy year where he puts up big numbers. I don't know if you can put up numbers enough to make that. One of those two things happening, I think, would make the season.
Are people going to
bearable.
show up to watch these kids? People they haven't heard of? No.
Yeah, well, they'll be consistent, but instead of 30,000, they'll be 17,000. It'll just
It'll look like the Pistons in the Red Wing games. It'll be a bunch of people dressed up as empty seats.
It's not like going to Cubs games when you know they're going to be bad, right?
You know, and I'm curious to see this. I think weekends in the summer, they're still going to get good crowds.
It's the backdrop of Major League Baseball.
Yeah, I think they're still, but it's not going to be like it's been for a
thoroughly
while.
disappointed. I'm telling you, no one is going to show up to watch that team.
Santa Crawford, the Pistons are still unwrapping new and improved Andre Drummond. What else do they need for Christmas?
They need consistency, and they need to be especially consistent on defense. They can't give up 43 points in one quarter to the Dallas Mavericks, which is the second worst team in the NBA. So, and from Reggie Jackson, they got to get more aggressive play offensively. I know he was hurt last year coming back, but he's just been real skittish lately. And he started out good, but they got to get more.
I think they've already been given their gift. Their gift was Andre Drummond doing what he's doing right now, which makes him tradable on the market. Because the problem is they're in this abyss where they got one piece on a championship roster. Avery Bradley can be a 3-4 guy. They obviously
You want him to get as bad as possible.
They're going to have to tear it down before they ever win a title. This group is not going to win. You're never going to win anything with Reggie Jackson. He's your third guard off the bench on a winning
And
team.
Tobias Harris is getting inconsistent.
Tobias Harris has his limitations too. To me, this team is going to be no better. They're going to be the Atlanta Hawks for 3 decades. That sort
Can
of
any
group where
team win an NBA title now in 2018 and beyond without free agents? And can the Pistons attract those free agents?
I would argue that the Warriors did. The Warriors went out and built that from within originally. If you draft perfectly, you can.
And I would say watch out for
One in
the
1,000.
Sixers, because I think the Sixers, that process may all of a sudden come to fruition.
And they made some mistakes.
They're like the Houston
process.
Astros of the NBA. They're going to start coming back.
Really tore it down. I don't know whether the Pistons think that they're close enough, that they're one player away.
So that's the worst part. The Pistons are further away than almost anybody in the NBA because you have to first know that this group isn't going to do it. You're still 2 years away, maybe from even realizing it's not going to happen, and you're not going to do a whole tear down. It's not going to happen under Stan Van Gundy. I think he's a great coach. It's just not going to happen under him because he's not going to be part of a whole tear down. So you got to go through that sort of thing where they take the decision making away from him, and you go through a whole new regime. And we're a decade away, to me, from the Pistons winning a
that's a long
championship.
time.
A decade away.
Just get 3 great players. That's everybody's formula.
How do you do that?
Trade.
One, you're going to have to draft. You're going to have to get somebody that people will want to come and play.
You can't draft 12 and 13 and get that guy.
Or you got to get lucky.
If Andre Drummond develops into the player the Pistons still believe he can be, then it's the big problem. You have a point guard who needs to read point guard for dummies because Reggie Jackson is losing games by trying to play hero ball.
He was who he was in Oklahoma City, and Stan Van Gundy evaluated him and saw that. That's my problem. Like, if I'm covering Stan Van Gundy, how did you think this guy, did you think he was a Russell Westbrook type that was that dynamic that he could get away with it? He's not. He's a backup guard. He's a great scorer with your second unit. That's what
Talk about having stars. Forgot about the Detroit Red Wings. And besides having a palatial new arena at Little Caesars to play in, they need stars. They don't have the star power they had. Henrik Zetterberg
Nor
is not
fans
that
either.
anymore. We will be back in just a minute, and we're going to have our Take It to the Bank segment and our guarantees coming up.
At the YMCA of Lansing, you can exercise your heart in more ways than one. Losing weight and gaining strength builds more than muscle, because we're more than a gym. We strengthen communities with programs that help kids succeed. Stretch yourself with fitness classes for every level, finding balance in more ways than one. For stronger bodies, stronger communities, and stronger families. Join the Y today and pay nothing until 2018.
When it comes to holiday shopping, my wife loves style. My son is all about technology, and my daughter, she just loves horses. Don't you just love one-stop shopping? I do.
Ring in the holidays with Buick. GM employee program participants with an eligible GM lease. Get this low-mileage lease on this 2017 Buick Envision for $295 a month. Visit Glenn Bugey, Crippen, Jim Winter, and Team One.
Say yes to your favorite nonprofit by submitting an application at fox47news.com.
Team spirit. Face paint. More cowbell. Dean Trailway's Motor Coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
Working with the IDE company, 1, is very easy to do. 2, they're very responsive to our needs. And 3, as we've grown as a company, they've listened to those needs and they've helped us plan out our future in terms of growth that needs to be done at this location.
It's just comforting to know I'm working with the IDE company, knowing that they can accommodate our growth. In that way, they're an excellent partner.
Opportunities for retail, office, restaurant, and residential. Build the future as a member of the IDE Company family.
The student bookstore is your Green and White Shop headquarters. Outfit your entire family with Spartan gear. We have a large selection of men's, women's, and children's clothing. Show off your Michigan State pride with new shoes, socks, hats, and more. Have your tailgate ready with MSU party supplies, car accessories, and dress your pet in green and white. We have gifts for students, grads, alumni, and fans. From Vera Bradley and Dooney and Burke to diploma frames and more. Always shop SBS for the biggest and best selection of green and white. Go green, go white, go SBS.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our Take It to the Bank segment. Brought to you by Dart Bank, dedicated to meeting the needs of our banking community for more than 90 years with 4 convenient locations in Mason, Fulton, South Lansing, Grand Ledge, and the expanded Home Loan Center in Crandor. That's Dart Bank for what matters most.
I've coached for, 30 plus seasons right now, and basically everything I've ever heard about the Holiday Bowl is extremely first class. Been a great bowl game throughout the years. It's a place we've not gone yet, so we're very excited about the Southern California alumni base and Arizona base as well, being able to see us play. Washington State, another top 20 opponent, so it gives us an opportunity to play against a quality top 20 opponent and an opportunity to win 10 football games, which is very exciting to us as we move forward.
All right, gentlemen, time for our weekly predictions and guarantees. Michigan State get its 5th bowl win in 7 seasons? As a 2-point underdog, does it lose a close game? Is it shredded by Washington State's air attack and Luke Falk? We're all going to make our score predictions, and then we will evaluate them early in 2018. Tom Crawford, what do you see for Mark D'Antonio's team Thursday night?
Well, I see a lot of their defense being victimized by a lot of drag patterns right behind the linebackers. Luke Falk's going to probably throw for 350 to 400. I have a 31-28 victory, as I indicated before, for Washington State. I think it's going to be a great game. I think Michigan State, I think Brian Lewerke's going to throw a lot of yards too. It's going to be a very entertaining game. I see Wazoo coming out on top, Jack.
Rico Beard, we have seen Washington State struggle against unranked Cal, unranked Arizona, in the Apple Cup against Washington. Is it possible Michigan State can affect Falk enough to change the score?
I don't know if they can affect Falk enough, but I think the other quarterback may be the key. You may need to go back to vintage Brian Lewerke in those first 2 weeks when he was the leading rusher, when plays broke down and he just kind of snuck through and ran for a 70-yard touchdown. That may be what you need to have, and you keep Falk off the field.
And who's the most likely player to produce that kind of big play for Michigan State?
I think it's going to go back to Brian Lewerke. Whether it's his arms or his legs, he is going to be the key. He cannot have a bad game.
Is it possible that Felton Davis or someone can get behind a Washington State defense? And, they got to stop Michigan State, too.
No, and I think that is the overlooked story of this game, right? It's the Washington State defense, which is not a bad group, against Michigan State's offense, which can they put it all together? And, there have been very few moments this year where we see the weather obviously hindered some things a lot of weeks this year. But if you look at the Penn State game, which I thought was the closest really they were against a quality opponent to sort of looking like a complete offense, and then obviously they took care of business at Rutgers. I'm really curious to see where this offense is. I think MSU's offense is better than people give it credit for. Right now, with a month to prepare, dry track, all that stuff, can they run the football? Can they? We're going to find out. I think this is a decent matchup for Michigan State. More so than I think a lot of people think. Part of Washington State's missing a couple guys, but
Rico, Michigan State a 2-point dog. Do they cover? Do they win? What do you see?
Honestly, Jack, I think they can cover. If Brian Lewerke can do what he does, I think they can cover. A field goal, I think they can do that. I think they can go out there and win this game. I'm concerned about that. I'm concerned about the linebackers.
Yeah. Graham Couch, you have covered this team as closely as anyone. What are you taking to the bank here? What's your projection?
Yeah, what I'm taking to the bank is I don't know anything for sure. I don't really have a great feel. Like in the Big Ten, you start to learn teams and you really have a sense. I think Michigan State's got a good chance to win it. I'm probably going to pick them to win it. And I'm going to say Michigan State a close game between 3 and 7 points.
Okay, I think there's something to be said for that. I think Michigan State can have new blitzes. They've studied all this stuff going back to Texas Tech. I like the Spartans winning by 1 point in this game. We'll be right back in a moment.
This year, the best presents aren't under the tree. They're in the driveway. Bombs away. Nice shot. Merry Christmas.
It's the 12 days of savings at every Graf dealership, the biggest savings event of the year. Drive off a new Equinox for only $139 per month. Or get a new Silverado double cab for just $144 per month. And just in time for Christmas, Graf will give you $2,000 over the value of your trade.
The Graf 12 days of savings going on now at a Graf dealership near you. Merry Christmas.
It was a Saturday of smiles for Michigan State at Michigan Stadium. A sea of white amid maize and blue. A team that laid it all on the line with ferocious hits and a steady hand. For 59 minutes and 50 seconds, then all hell broke loose. Cherish the memories of October 17, 2015, and one of the greatest finishes in college football history. The Perfect 10 by Jack Ebling and Joe Rexroad. Available at drivewithjack.com, at SBS and Shula Books, and on Amazon before time runs out.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Win the wedding of your dreams at fox47news.com/wedding giveaway. Team One is having the event of the year. The new Chevys, Buicks, and GMCs are all here. They're all under one roof. They're all in one spot at the home of Sign and Drive, Team One in Charlotte, where the brand new Enclave looks mighty fine, and so does the price at only $149. You can get the GMC Acadia for under $150. Sign and Drive means no money down. Now isn't that nifty? Come see us this holiday season because these deals are hot. See all our great deals at team1charlotte.com. Happy holidays from Team One, the only one.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for a cool and smooth segment brought to you by the 4 Culver's locations in mid-Michigan. Since 1984, Culver's has been delighting guests one meal at a time with scrumptious butter burgers and premium frozen custard. That's Culver's. Welcome to delicious. All right, Team 222, who has been as cool and smooth on this Christmas Eve as a Culver's mint explosion this week. Rico Beard, what about our play of the week?
Play of the week, Jack, I'm going to go with the game against Long Beach State, and I don't even think it was planned. It just looked really good, and sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. But at the end of the game, point 102, as Gavin Schilling is fighting for the ball, playing defense to the end, he's at center court, and he does what you're supposed to do. When the ball is loose, always throw it towards your basket, right into the hand of Connor George, who drives in, hits the layup, and the MSU bench explodes. That's it. It's almost like they drew it up, but you couldn't have drawn up that play. That's the play.
Connor George, this year's Matt Ishbia.
Exactly. Yeah, and he had some big minutes. I mean, some critical minutes throughout the season so far.
Yeah, DK80. Graham, what about our game of the week? What do you have for us?
I'm going to go Wofford beating North Carolina in Chapel Hill. Like, this is why, you know...
Wofford's pretty good.
Well, yeah. Wofford. It's, you know, whatever. Well, up here, everybody knows it's Wofford, right? So this is why you can make fun of the Houston Baptist game, as we sometimes do, and other things like that. But you never know with some of these teams, and you do like to see them get their opportunity. A guy named Fletcher McGee, heck of a player, 27 points. They were 25.5-point underdogs. You know, nobody in the world would get to see that guy play. And yet he goes in there, and he was the best player on the court on a given day. And there are these guys all over the country, and you love when they get their spot, get their chance, and step up in that moment. I just thought it was a lot of fun. And one of those moments where you're sort of dogging all these dog matchups, and you're reminded that they're not always dogs.
North Carolina thought they were playing a dog.
Yeah.
Just got bit by one. Tom Crawford, what about our team of the week?
That's for the proof that we do not rehearse the show, because I took the Wofford Terriers as my team of the week. I was going to talk about Fletcher McGee, but Ram did that, so I'm not going to talk about that. But I am going to talk about the 16 of 18 free throws down the stretch throughout that game, which I think was key. And so, you know, Wofford, 4-hour trip, bus ride, never beat a top 25 team. I love that game. They led the whole game, so I was all about it. So we doubled down on the Wofford Terriers.
I loved it, too. It kind of reminded me of Appalachian State and Michigan.
All comes back.
In 2000 and... Oh, I guess I shouldn't say that.
But it's cool because for them, that is a game that those kids will take forever with them.
That coach has been there 16 years. Yeah. Mike Young. Yeah.
That's a moment that'll be banners, there'll be plaques, there'll be all sorts of things. That's a big deal in North Carolina.
You think coaches now are going to be saying, ooh, we better not play good teams, we better not play marquee teams in pre-conference. We got to find some teams that are worse than Wofford.
No, I think they're going to play. You just got to tell your guys, stay focused and go out there and win. Like Graham said, we make fun of Tom Izzo for always saying, guys, you got to do this better and got to do this better. But those other teams want to
Wofford's
win.
been in the tournament a number of times.
Yeah, it's
not a bad team.
In general on their jersey.
And it's a reminder also that not all these teams are created equal. So the brand is often awful. Some of these teams are good teams with veteran players, and you can't treat, you know, Texas Southern this year, not very good. That team that came in and beat Michigan State was a really good, low major team.
Right. And we saw what happened when Michigan took care of business the other night against Alabama A&M, right? They had a team and they stepped on it just the same way they did.
349th ranked
University of Detroit.
Power rankings.
For our player of the week, I'm going to talk about Trae Young. If you've not seen Trae Young yet, you will. Set the national record for assists in a game. 25 in the first half against Northwestern. Outstanding performance. And you're going to be watching him. He's Steph Curry 2.0. You'll be watching him all season. I want to thank our panel being here on Christmas Eve. Graham Couch, sports columnist for the Lansing State Journal. Follow all of his coverage of the Holiday Bowl. Tom Crawford, my longtime radio partner, Blue Belly Tom. He'll be with us Tuesday when we're back on the air after our best of. And Rico Beard, the Spartan Beat, weeknights from 6 to 7. You can follow him as well. Follow all of his recruiting coverage. There's a lot going on with Michigan State moving forward. Have a great week, everyone, and Merry Christmas.